All right, well, thank you very much for being here. We have some great information, an announcement from Collier County. Actually, it has relevance to two separate cases. We'll touch on the first case, and then we'll go over to the second. First case is Collier County detectives have arrested who has been dubbed the Scream Mask Bandit. As you know, we've been investigating serial robberies over the course of about a week. We've looked at 5 or 6 robberies throughout the county, mostly commercial entities. And today, and before I go further than that, I wanted to thank the media for providing information out to the public. We received a significant number of tips. None of the tips, unfortunately, led specifically to the arrest, but when they were put all together with the investigation, detectives were able to put a lot of information together and make a case. The other is we want to thank the Detective Bureau from the Naples Police Department, who also provided information relative to these cases. Today, thus far, we have made 2 felony count charges for armed robbery in possession of a firearm, 5 counts of aggravated assault in the commission of a felony. 2 of the specific cases we've charged so far: on November 10th, there was an armed robbery at GameStop. That was 9960 Business Circle. And November 4th, an armed robbery at the Circle K at 128 US 41 East. As you know, we put out information on these. In the GameStop robbery, the subject walked up to the counter, pointed a firearm at 3 employees, demanded cash. They removed an undisclosed amount of cash from the safe, and then they zip-tied all the employees and left the property. On the Circle K event, the subject was wearing gloves, a dark hoodie, dark pants with stripes, and a mask where the Scream Bandit's name came from. He secured the clerk and a customer in the bathroom and left the premise. More charges are pending as we further the investigation. We had several other incidents, one on November 1st, the BAM's Deli on the East Trail, and Salsa Bravo on the North Trail. In each of those cases, the robber wore Scream masks. We're also looking into 2 armed robberies on November 8th in North Naples, the Newsstand Cafe at Health Park Boulevard and the CVS Pharmacy on Immokalee Road. Between November 1st and November 11th, there have been multiple robberies, all committed with firearms. Initially, information indicated that it was by a tall, thin male, polite, white, and these all match the subject who was arrested, John Paul Wessel. According to arrest reports, Wessel was identified as a possible subject in these robberies. Detectives pulled video footage, actually from a previous case at Walmart, which led them to identify this person as a subject for the robberies. So we have multiple incidents from retail theft to robbery throughout the 11-day period that these events were occurring. The investigation did develop probable cause for an arrest on the Walmart theft. And on Tuesday, detectives and law enforcement deputies effected a traffic stop of Wessel's vehicle. They had a female inside the vehicle, and subsequent investigation with her indicated that Wessel had been staying at her house. He had come into a large sum of money. Detectives then sought consent and search warrants, followed up with those, and began to collect evidence that would support the current arrests and the potential for future arrests. One of the interesting things that detectives had come across was somewhat of a checklist that reminded the suspect of things he should do and be aware of in each of the facilities, such as checking for videotaping equipment and removing them. The search also turned up a bank bag, and that ultimately was removed from the GameStop store. So we've got information specifically relative to each of these in the case information that we're giving you today. I know that was a pretty quick summary. I will tell you that there are more charges pending, and the subject is currently in the Collier County Jail. That Collier County deputies, along with the statewide prosecutor's office and the DEA, have arrested 13 subjects after a long-term drug trafficking conspiracy in and throughout the state of Florida, but initiated in Collier County. We have with us today Chris Castle, resident agent in charge of the DEA. We have Michael Neiman, assistant statewide prosecutor, Office of Statewide Prosecution. We want to thank Attorney General Pam Bondi for all the assistance she has provided in this and other cases, such as our home invasion cases. On November 13th, the Collier County Sheriff's Office, along with all of these entities, came to the initial phase of ending a 2-year investigation into drug trafficking conspiracy, particularly in South Florida, but throughout. Individuals arrested in connection with this included citizens and subjects that have been involved in narcotics for a substantial amount of time, but were never found, prosecuted, and charged. Some of those 13 individuals and the additional subjects we're still looking for have been involved in drug trafficking before and drug cases before to varying degrees. Since this was not confined to one single jurisdiction, the DEA and the statewide prosecutor was of tremendous assistance, and we're also being helped by other agencies in Dade, Collier, and Lee counties. Residents' vehicles were searched based on canine alerts, and items seized were currency, vehicles, firearms, narcotics, and they are at various locations throughout South Florida and are still ongoing. In the last 6 months, detectives seized or purchased 13 keys of cocaine with a street value of $442,000, and they involved in creating a conspiracy to traffic 30 kilos of cocaine at an approximate value of $1 million. Today, we've seized through warrants and arrests 10 ounces of cocaine valued at $13,000, 6 ounces of high-grade marijuana valued at $18,000, 14 ounces of methamphetamine valued at $15,000, 6.5 grams of Xanax, 4 vehicles, 2 handguns, and more than $40,000 in cash. And if you look to my right, you can see some of the seizures that have already been made. To your far left was a substantial amount of kilos of cocaine. And that was 10. We had 2 more. And then a variety of methamphetamine, cash, and other drugs. I'll get into identifying the individuals that have been arrested and that are still wanted. And rather than go through every individual case, I will tell you that most were charged with conspiracy to traffic in different amounts of cocaine. That's all listed in each of your packets. They were also charged with trafficking in cocaine of more than 400 grams, with the addition of marijuana in some cases. So the first subject was Erlen Carrasco. He's been arrested and charged. Johnny Tia for conspiring to traffic 51 ounces. Thomas Sereno conspired to traffic 402 ounces. Francisco Gatto conspired to traffic 972 ounces. Enrique Lacendi conspired to traffic 289 ounces. Federico Contreras conspired to traffic 979 ounces. Jose Diaz conspired to traffic 385 ounces. Juan Ramos conspired to traffic 4 ounces. This is all of cocaine. Christopher Ocampo for trafficking of 2.5 ounces. Joel Venegas conspired to traffic 3 ounces. Geronimo Cruz conspired to traffic 3 ounces. Orlando Alaves conspired to traffic 258 ounces. Niccolo Bussi conspired to traffic 9 ounces. So you can see that there were a variety of types and charges of narcotics, mostly cocaine, some methamphetamine, some marijuana. The significant element of the case that has been involved today is that this will deal and has dealt a crushing blow to high-level drug traffickers throughout South Florida. That's a great thing for communities. That's a great thing for law enforcement. And in some cases, these individuals have been involved in this for years. But sooner or later, you will get caught, as they did today.